Dude, I think we lost you for a minute.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Hello?
at least I couldn't hear you.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying that the only thing, the worst thing that I've heard is people going like, "Eh, the game it's up against is overrated, anyways."
I mean, that may be true, and
But no, I'm just saying
then
that that's like the
again, for
worst I've heard.
anything.
I'm just saying that's the worst I've heard. So
Hmm.
that's not. Sorry for
Hmm.
interrupting you all
Yeah,
the time. Just
yeah. No, you're fine. You're not interrupting me. I mean, we're doing something online. It's going to happen. But regardless, I can see that. And like the only other thing that I've seen is that Undertale fans seem to be very very adamant about sharing Undertale with people. Sometimes to the point where it's a bit um, what's the
overbearing.
word I'm looking for?
Overbearing.
Overbearing. Yes, that's a very good word for it. And it's like, and that's not a bad thing, and it's a thing that's easily avoidable. But like, it's compared to some of the things I've seen with other fandoms, especially in this whole best game ever thing, where like they're just ripping on the fans just because of the fact that they're fans and they want to see their thing win. That's what everybody wants in that. Like, I wanted Super Mario RPG to go a lot farther than it. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and it got
Dude,
fourth place.
yeah, no, Majora's Mask getting beaten out by A Link to the Past really kind of
Mm.
achieved me a little bit.
Mm.
Not
And I
saying
really
anything like yeah, I like A Link to the Past is a fantastic game, but A Link to the Past later went on to fight Ocarina of Time, and Ocarina of Time won, and I'm like, I think
and I felt
Majora's
that. Oh,
Mask.
sorry.
I think Majora's Mask would have had a better chance against Ocarina of Time. Anyway, so as you were saying,
No,
Well,
I wasn't saying anything. Sorry.
Well, and that I think is mainly just the fact. I think reason why Ocarina of Time went farther than Majora's Mask is Ocarina of Time is the one that cemented the 3D Zelda formula.
no, of
So
course,
it's the first. So it's got it just even though like personally I like Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time more, but it's the one that cemented all of the
well.
main mechanics of Majora's Mask, and then Majora's Mask expanded on what Ocarina of Time brought to the
Yeah,
table.
the thing is, like, I feel like that's like a general feeling, though, that a lot of people like simultaneously agree that Majora's Mask is like superior in comparison to Ocarina of Time. But like, I mean, obviously they didn't go up against each other. Nobody can say because it's not what happened. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
And
that's
even
kind of
if
one of
and
the
again, go ahead, Doodle.
that's kind of one of the issues of the whole thing is that like somebody could have voted for Undertale every step of the way, but only because they thought in that particular matchup Undertale was superior. Like if in the finals Undertale had gone up against Shadow of the Colossus, for example, I probably would have went with Shadow of the Colossus because I honestly think that is like an insanely just perfect game.
yeah. Actually, what did Shadow of the Colossus lose to? Because
I think it lost to a Nintendo thing.
Um,
yeah, I
I
was
can look
pretty
it up.
sure like. I saw a
I got
guy
it. I'll
like
look it up.
It got past Red Dead Redemption, I know, which is fair, even though I love Red Dead Redemption. But Shadow of the Colossus, yeah, no, it is a masterpiece.
and I'm looking for it too, so I'm like, but
See,
let's
Shadow
see.
of the Colossus.
It went up against Team Fortress 2, Red Dead Redemption. Oh, Metal Gear Solid beat it out. That's right.
To face off
Yeah.
against Metal Gear Solid 3 later on, which is a bizarre thing to
Yeah, that
compare.
was a weird matchup.
Buster Skull, if
That was a
you're
little bit.
just Google GameFAQs best game ever and you'll find the page. Don't go into the forums though. It's salt mines from here to Kingdom Come. Okay, it's not that
Oh
bad. It's not
God,
that bad, but
that's the
there's a lot of it
that's
though.
really the only thing. That's really the only thing that I've had a complaint about, like the video game fandom as a whole this year is that like the salt has been real this year, especially within these past like 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Like,
partially because people have been comparing a lot of the video games this year, because this was actually a really good year for video games, which means that there are a lot of video
was.
games that are going to have intense fans, which means that if they check a bunch of top 10 lists and they don't find their game on there, they're going to be peeved.
oh yeah,
No, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like you had things like there were a lot of upsets at like the Game Awards, particularly with Splatoon winning Best Shooter
And
over
Her
the
Story
likes of,
winning
like
some
Halo
stuff.
and Call of Duty. Yeah,
Like Her Story winning
and
some
like
stuff, which, like, I like that game a lot, but best performance? Really? Like, no. Like, it was a
well, that
hard
was vocal
performance, but it
performance,
wasn't.
wasn't it? Wasn't it like for voiceover
vocal and
performance?
acting though, and physical acting as well in real life. Which I mean, like, which is like she had an insanely difficult role, but nice salt icon, Spidey. That's very nice.
Yes.
I gotta tell my dogs to hush up. I'll be right back.
But
You're right.
her story was. Do you mind if I go on about her story for a bit, or do you have something to
You can
say?
go on for a little bit. No, you're
Sorry.
fine.
Her
This is
story
open.
was a
It's fine.
very her story was a very interesting bit of experimental gameplay to see if they could make a pure investigation game, and I do think they succeeded. They showed that that idea would not only work, but it would be super engaging.
Yeah.
And the actress who did basically the entirety of the game's acting, like that isn't it's like she had an insanely hard role. Like I can't go into details because of spoilers, but she had an
Hmm.
extremely intricate role and she did play it very, very well. But at the same time, I could totally understand why people would be salty about her getting performance of the year because it's like, yeah, that is an extremely hard performance to do, but
I mean,
I don't
who did
know.
she go up against? Because I can't remember.
Like she went against the guy who did the Batman thing and or the Joker voice, Mark Hamill, I think.
Mark Hamill.
Not Mark Hamill. Oh
Well,
wait, was it? Somebody. I don't know.
it
But
was
yeah,
Mark
no, I
Hamill.
mean,
In the last Batman game in Arkham Knight, it was Mark Hamill.
the more I talk about her story, the more that I realize that no, maybe she did deserve the performance award. Although the other award that the game got confused me. Like didn't it win Games for Change? I can't remember.
That or was like maybe best
Was it
indie. I can't remember.
was was it Life is Strange? I don't I don't know.
I can't remember. But
I don't know what to think of Life is Strange. I finished it, but like
it's strange.
like it sorry, I'm rambling way too much about random games. Sorry.
Doodle, you're fine. It's an open
It
topic. It's okay for you to ramble.
it's like it does exploration. Like okay, so if you don't know what Life is Strange is, it's like a mixture of Gone Home with the Telltale games with some time travel and hipsters thrown in.
Yeah.
And
And it
it's
was interesting.
the exploration is really really good in that game, and some of the main story points are actually very very good,
Hmm.
but there's so many little things, especially about the presentation. Like the voice actors are all over the place, the dialogue is mind-numbingly bad. So it's just like
Yeah.
on a story-based game, like if the presentation is really bad, like does that ruin the game entirely, or does the other points of it, like I don't know what to think of it.
It would have to be
I don't.
depending on how it's weighed, to be honest. Also, hi, I've
Hmm.
returned.
Oh, welcome back. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, that was really just the start of it, and then there was the whole Undertale thing with the best game ever, and there was a huge salt mine about that, and then just recently, then recently we just had the whole thing with Smash Brothers and the fact that with Corrin from the upcoming Fire Emblem Fates being going to be added,
Yeah,
along
fucking
with
Bayonetta.
yeah, and then Bayonetta being
Which is
the
really
quote
cool.
unquote Smash ballot winner, which is she's a great character. I mean, granted, same like I was not expecting her to be the winner either. Like I thought that there were plenty of other people that were of a not necessarily of a higher caliber, but of equal stature and more popularity
Uh,
than her. But
if I may,
Well, they
interrupt
also
you
said
real
that
quick.
if they also said they could only choose characters that they were able, quote, like able to implement. I'm paraphrasing a
Really-
little bit, but
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like realizable characters.
I feel like
yeah.
the thing is, Bayonetta's always been on the radar, but she was never top tier. Like, there was always, like, Shovel Knight or some other character that we continuously hear about over her.
Spidey
Yeah, like
is
So it
everyone
was
thought
weird to be
Shovel Knight
like,
was
oh.
gonna win.
Spidey is freaking out over Cloud and Bayonetta being in the same game.
Yeah, I mean, here's how I saw about it is that like first
Mind
off,
you, it's also freaking
I'm not
awesome,
disappointed.
but,
Like first off, I'm not disappointed about the about any of these characters being in because if they weren't the ones that we were getting, we wouldn't be getting any at all. So like I can't like I'm not going to complain about which characters got picked, but like the thing that I was thinking about is like I think I was kind of on the right track when I was predicting characters. I made some predictions online with my prediction for a third party character being Shovel Knight for majorly the same reasons as why I think Bayonetta got picked. Just on a different scale, because I was thinking Shovel Knight, because Shovel Knight has been in the top 3 in just about every online poll that's been made. And then on top of that, there's already an existing partnership with between Yacht Club and Nintendo in them making the Shovel Knight amiibo.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, and like Spidey's just bringing this up right now, is that Bayonetta was also one that I thought about, but her sex appeal was something that was a bit of an obstacle. So like with that kind of ruling her out, but and at the same time with this apparent partnership going on with Yacht Club and Nintendo, and an amiibo already coming out, I kind of thought it was more or less of a shoe-in. It was more of a just going to be a point of ceremony at this point. But then as I started to think about it, Bayonetta has the same setup pretty much, except it's even closer than what Yacht Club and Nintendo had. Like Yacht Club and Nintendo just have an agreement of Nintendo saying, "Here's the blueprints on how to make an amiibo. As long as you follow these stipulations, you can make your amiibo however you want. You can produce it through whoever you want, and you can ship it whenever you want." And that's all. That's as far as their partnership goes. Whereas with Bayonetta, Bayonetta 2 is a Wii U exclusive, and it comes with Bayonetta 1 packaged in for pretty much free. And so there's already a partnership between Platinum Games and Nintendo on a much closer knit scale than Yacht Club and Nintendo have. So it's pretty much the exact same. Like that's pretty much the exact same reasoning for why I thought Shovel Knight was going in, just on a character that because of one, now when I think about it, a minor obstacle would prevent her from getting in. Did everyone die?
No, we're
Yeah,
still
I'm thinking
here
about
as
it.
ghosts. Hey, Jenna, did you have something to say?
Nope.
Oh,
Not on that
We-
matter, because I don't really do anything with Smash at all.
we were missing your voice, Jenna. Your voice that soars to like the 3rd floor of the building.
Are you saying my voice sounds screechy?
No. I was like, because like normally people are like, oh, your voice goes to the heavens, but I'm just saying your voice goes to the 3rd floor.
So my voice only goes to the 3rd floor? Wow, thanks, Doodle.
You
I-
doodled, you're
I'm-
not. You're
Thanks,
not
you
Wow.
filthy
up at all.
anal pirate.
Wouldn't it
And
have been
like,
crazy?
Go ahead, Gil.
If Nintendo was just like, and the final character to be added to Smash, and then
It's filthy anal
you hear
pirate.
maniacal laughing in the distance, and then fucking Papyrus jumps through the screen.
Good!
Dude, I mean,
Bone Trussell playing as loud as
And then
humanly
suddenly-
possible.
And then suddenly you hear deep rumbling in the distance as the salt mines overflow.
The salt mines? Oh, the
A
salt
new
mines.
challenger approaches. All the characters are looking
Well, yeah.
around, and faintly in the distance you hear.
Oh my god!
and to be
It
honest,
just gets
after
increasingly
the
louder.
Hey, oh no! The
after
best part
cloud
is he
announcement, I
drive.
didn't rule anything out.
No. The best part is that he would drive in with the car, blaring the song, and it would get
Of
louder and
course he
louder,
would.
and he'd run everyone over.
I
Papyrus
did wanna
puzzles the
point something out.
competition. Also, what's up,
I did want
Allie?
to point out something. Oh, hey, Allie. But I did want to point something out in the chat that Spidey's bringing up, and that's the whole that it's I guess a pandering to the games, because like Bayonetta's a Wii U game, Clouds has a remake coming, Ryu has Street Fighter V, Corn's the new Fire Emblem game. That's what Smash Brothers is, though. Smash Brothers is a fighting game with interesting characters and stuff like that, but it's also a giant marketing platform. Like, every character that's in there is because they're characters that are popular, and it's a way to introduce them to people or reintroduce them to people sometimes, so that way you'll want to go and experience their games. The fact that Marth and Roy were in Melee were what got me interested into Fire Emblem, and now I love Fire Emblem because it's a game I'd never heard of, and then all of a sudden his games are showing up. Or at that time, I was playing the Japanese ones on an emulator because it hadn't come out yet over here.